The hanging death of a 17-year-old African-American boy in North Carolina is now under new scrutiny today. Residents of the town of Bladensboro marched in honor of the young man yesterday. The August 29th death of Lennon Lacy will now be investigated by federal authorities. Lacy's mother addressed the crowd.
I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate all the support. The FBI have agreed to look into it, and that's what I want. Answers. There are things that happen that has not been explained to me.
Let's bring in the Reverend Gregory Taylor. Reverend Taylor is the Lacy family pastor. Reverend, with a welcome to you, sir. I imagine there's been a heck of a lot of prayer trying to seek answers and comfort over this tragedy. Is there a sense of hope now within the family that questions are being asked about Lennon's death?
Yes, there is a lot of hope with the family. First of all, I want to thank you for this opportunity to share their story. Yes, there's a lot of hope in the community now that the FBI has agreed to undertake this case. Ever since August 29th, the family has had questions about the death of their son, Lennon Lacy, who was found hung in Bladensboro, North Carolina on that date. Yes, there is hope that with the FBI in place that we will get some answers to the questions that have been raised by this incident.
How is it that it was ruled a suicide so quickly, sir? Because by his mother's estimation and everybody else who's been interviewed, he was not despondent. There was nothing that led to this. So why did it rule suicide?
Well, his uncle died the day before. I did the eulogy for his uncle, and I spoke with Lennon Lacy that day. That was that Thursday. Friday morning, they found him dead about 7:29 that morning. His mother indicated to the police that he was depressed. That came across as being clinically depressed. However, he was grieving like most African Americans who lose family members, we grieve. And so that was misinterpreted. The key statement that she issued, the first statement that she issued was, "Someone killed my son." The police did not follow that particular line of reasoning. They followed the line of reasoning in suicide. And in fact, by 3 o'clock that Friday, they had determined that he had committed suicide, which is something that we cannot accept at this time.
Yeah, and especially on the heels of an uncle dying, when we have all suffered through tragedies, and it's a difficult thing to get over, and you don't just get over it like that. So is there something specific that has rallied this community to bring about this FBI response and further an investigation now? Was there an incident that turned on that?
I think when the pathology report came out, that was a turning point. The NAACP of the state of North Carolina hired an independent pathologist to review the case. And once that report came out, many more questions were raised. And so the community galvanized behind that. For example, his shoes. Lennon Lacy wore Air Jordans, gray Air Jordans, but he was found hung with a pair of white shoes that were 1.5 size too small. And so that was one of the questions. And then the belt. A dog leash was found, and the belt was found that did not belong to Lennon Lacy. So these were some questions that galvanized the community. And also, lastly, it is a fact that he was involved in an interracial relationship with a white woman in Bladensboro, a 31-year-old white woman in Bladensboro, and that also raises questions. So the community galvanized around the pathology report and some of the incidents, some of the questions raised by the pathology report, and this relationship that he had with his 31-year-old white woman.
Reverend Gregory Taylor, when you guys get some answers, we'd love to have you back and talk with us about them. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you so much.